Well, hello, General Hospital Daily Recap fans. Today's daily recap is for Monday, August the 7th, 2023. Monday, August the 7th. Well, Valentine does go to check up on Spencer and give him an update on Laura and Kevin. And Spencer's like, why didn't you bring them home with you? And he's like, that's because your mother wanted to go and check another place. No, she's not in Chesnia, so she's not it's not a dangerous place, but she and Kevin felt they could do it alone. And so he asked could he hold the baby Ace. Cuteness in the house, cuteness in the house. So he Esme kind of looks at him, is it okay? And he goes, yeah. And so he goes, hey little guy, we spent a lot of time on the island. I haven't seen you since then. And so whatever, he coos at the baby a bit and gives him back to Esme. And then he and Spencer talk because, they have a newfound connection. Spencer doesn't hate him anymore. Well, for one, he knows he didn't kill his father. But for two, that whole Victor Cassadine ordeal, Spencer knew Valentine took one for the team, literally, right? So that was a pretty cute scene. And then after Valentine left, Esme comes from the back and says, oh, is Valentine gone? And Spencer says, yes. She says, I wanted to show him Ace's cute new outfit. Why would Valentine care about a cute new outfit on Ace? One outfit looked just like another outfit on the baby, right? She had to say this was a cute new outfit. Otherwise, I thought it was the same outfit. Who cares? So she goes, hey, why don't we take pictures? Spencer says, okay. So they take a whole bunch of pictures, Esme and Ace, and then Spencer holding Ace. But before Valentine leaves, he's saying how he's proud of Spencer for stepping up, being there for his little brother. And Spencer said, well, look, our father's a deadbeat. So, I it's up to me. And so then he says something, and he goes, well, he sure looks to be happy and thriving, little Ace. And Spencer said, Esme's a good mother to Ace. Really? And she looked and she smiled. And I said, well, Spencer, your whole plan was you were going to take Ace from Esme, period, and get sole custody of your brother. Now you see she's a good mother to your brother. And telling everybody else she's a good mother to my brother. Right? Okay. So she's definitely rubbing off on him. But this is one picture that I thought, okay, this picture here makes him look like the happy family, right? Somehow that's going to end up on Spencer's social media. Trina's going to see it. Because Spencer, the next scene is the three of them are sitting on the couch, and Spencer says, Ace, ooh, this one's got a great smile. We got to send this to your grandmother. And he goes, who am I kidding, Ace? Grandmother wants to see all of these. We're going to send all of these to grandmother, right? So he's going to send all the pictures to Laura. But I thought, okay, Esme's going to make sure Trina sees this. It's in every part of my being that that's what's going to happen with that, right? And then we had, Brick is back. Rick is in the house. Go Stephen A. Go Stephen A. Right? So he gave Sonny intel on Betty, Nanny Betty, worked for a trucking company. Guess where? Paul Talk. The dead guy, what's that dead guy's name? Gordon worked for a certain family trucking company, and guess where? Paul Tuck. And Mason, same family company, Paul Tuck, right? So they're saying it was recently bought out, and it's all private and hidden as to who purchased it. It's a well-hidden LLC he's still looking into, who actually purchased the trucking company because it was sold 2 years ago. So we shall see what happens with that. And then I got to thinking, 2 years ago. Was Olivia Jerome? Wasn't she? Wasn't that when she? No, it was a little more than 2 years ago when Olivia was there when she tried to kill Ava. Yeah, that was more than 2 years ago, I think. But anyway, we shall see what's going to happen with that. But he was just telling, and Sonny told him, yeah. So Brick says, he blackmailing you? Sonny said, no, Ava. And Brick says, well, let's get rid of the three of them right now. Let's take care of them. Sonny says, no, 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 we can't, because they have Nicholas's body. And so Brick said, Nicholas's body? Sonny said, yeah, Ava killed him. And they're blackmailing her. So Brick says, oh, ooh, okay, okay. So he goes, once we get that body, then we gonna take care of them. You know, Sonny's back into mob boss thinking plan. I'm loving seeing this part of Sonny again. As a matter of fact, Olivia and Nina were at the bar, and Sonny was there too. And you know, Nina was doting on him or something, or actually trying to make sure something was on his shirt, trying to brush his shirt, fix up his jacket. And he saw Britt, and Britt nodded, and Sonny kind of nodded. Sonny just walked away from him. And actually, Olivia wasn't there, just walked away from Nina, because she was trying to figure out something for the venue. He didn't say, hey, look, Britt's here, I got to go talk to him. He just walked. I said, okay, there we go. No little kiss on the, hey, I'll be back, honey. Remember, he couldn't, he was glued to Nina's side. So he went out and he had his meeting, and he did his, you know, mob boss talking. And Olivia and Nina are talking, and Olivia was complaining about, you know, the usual Ned. And so she says she's going to help Nina plan her wedding to get her mind off of Ned/Eddie. And so Nina was happy about that. Of course she is, because she's thinking, ooh, I got Carly's friend helping me plan. And she even said, well, won't that cause trouble between you and Carly? So Olivia said, no. Right now, Carly and I are still at odds. She still thinks Ned is the one that turned in Drew and her to the SCC. And I know in my gut and in my heart, it was not my Ned. He swore to me it wasn't him, and I believe him. She says, so right now, we have some space between us, her and Carly. She said, but we're going to get through this. We have gotten through worse. She goes, once we find out who turned Drew in and Carly in, then that'll prove I was right to trust my husband, right? So Nina's just sitting there like, oh no, I'm hoping, you know, you ain't never finding out, right? Because it was her. So anyway, then we have, let me see, what's my next picture? Scout swimming lessons. She's doing really good. Sam is there to hug her and, you know, and congratulate her for what a great butterfly stroke she's doing, and yada, yada, yada. And Gladys comes walking up to them with Gladys faction. And so she goes, hey, kid. See, and first of all, you don't address my kid as that. I don't care. You know, right? And so Sam looks at her, and Scout says, I remember you from the store. You had the coat on. And she goes, yeah, the coat that you couldn't keep your hands off of. And Scout's just looking at her. And Nina looked at Gladys like, wait a minute, where you going with that? So Gladys says, so hey kid, how's it feel to have your father in the slammer? And Scout looked at her like, what? Sam said, Scout, honey, can you go over there and sit on the chairs, the pool chairs with your tablet? She goes, yeah. She's like, I can't get away from this crazy lady fast enough. Sam told her, don't you ever talk to my daughter again, and definitely you don't talk to her about her father being in jail. So Gladys says, Well, I thought I needed to remind her the world is a cold place. I'm surprised Sam didn't just mop her up right there. Sam told her, you know what? You say one more word, especially to my daughter, and I'm going to throw you into that pool myself. And so Gladys was like, yeah, well, it's kind of hard being here with what happened with Sasha stabbing Cody the way she did. And Sam says, no, you know what? Something else was going on. Something else is going on. She says, tell me, Gladys, what happened before she stabbed Cody? What was going on? So Gladys goes, I don't know what you're talking about. She goes, no, something has happened to Sasha. Something. And I think, you know what? I don't like you looking into my business. You were questioning me about me and Selena Wu, and you this, that, and the other. She goes, you need to focus your attention on your friend, because I was the one telling everybody Sasha was not ready to take her guardianship over, to terminate the guardianship. And you all said she was. Look at where she's at today. I was right, and all of you were wrong. And I'm like, you know what? Soap opera viewers can only take so much. And I've had just about enough of Gladys getting away with this. Just about enough of it, right? I was just shaking my head. And so Sam says, no, something's not right. And I'm going to find out what it is. And Gladys goes and she snatches her purse and she walks out of there. Now, mind you, there is a nice nurse at Ferncliff, and then there's a desk clerk nurse there who's not so nice, right? So the nice one, she came in and she talked to Sasha, gave her some water. And Sasha said, can you call my guardian Gladys Corbin for me? So she goes, sure, I can. So she goes, she calls Gladys. Gladys, who sees it's Ferncliff and doesn't even accept the phone call, right? So she comes back and she goes, did you get a hold? Sasha says, did you get a hold of Gladys? And she goes, yeah, but it went to voicemail. She goes, did you leave a message? She goes, yes, I did. And so the nurse says, is there anyone else you would like me to call? So she goes, can you call Cody Bell? But guess who's standing in the doorway when she's saying that? Dr. Montague. And he comes in and he says, listen, nurse, before you start making phone calls for Miss Gilmore, clear them with me first. And Sasha's kind of looking at him like, why are you saying that? And so the nurse says, oh, well, sure, doctor, I'm sorry. Yeah, she goes, no, just clear them with me first. So she goes, okay. And she's kind of looking at the doctor like, I wonder why, right? And so she leaves the room and she goes to the front desk. Now, mind you, Cody comes in and he says he's Dante Falconeri. He's family. Dante's on the list, right? So she goes, okay, Mr. Falconeri, I need to see your ID. And he goes, oh, I left it in the car. She said, well, you can go to the car and get it. Visiting hours aren't open until 7. He said, well, I parked kind of far away. She goes, no ID, no visiting. Those are the rules. And you're like, there's no way around that. So the nice one says, oh, Cindy. I just made that name up. I don't know what the nurses' names are. He's family. It should be okay. She goes, and she looks at her. She goes, no ID, no seeing the patients. And so the nice one says, okay, okay. So she goes, well, isn't it time for your break, Cindy? And Cindy looks at her and she goes, no, it's not time for my break. And you can go and do your rounds, check on the patients. So she goes, okay, okay. And Dante's eyeing her, looking at her, because Dante says, not Dante, Cody is eyeing her because he's already seeing, okay, this one here, I'm going to be able to work with, right? So the mean one looked at him and said, by the way, there's only two ways you get into here. You're a patient and you're admitted into here, or you have ID and you're on the list. So he looked and he said, I'll keep that in mind. And he walked out. And I thought, he's going to get himself committed to Ferncliff. But how? I don't know. Who will be on his side? And see, that would be a dangerous thing. That doctor there, and once Gladys and that doctor finds out he's there, Cody would be drugged to no end. That's it. But see, he still has not seen the doctor. Has he? If he simply finds out that Montague is Sasha's doctor, he's gonna connect the dots from him and, the connection between him and Gladys. But that hasn't happened. Isn't it interesting? Port Charles is such a small world, but it sure can be a whole globe when they don't want certain people to run into certain people, isn't it? That's interesting and crazy. So anyway, let's see. The doctor's talking to Sasha, and he's trying to rewrite her history. A little cough drop in here. He's got, trying to put stuff in her head as facts. And she's like, no, that's not what happened. And he's like, we found these in your purse. Narcotics. She goes, oh, no, you did not. She says, I have not been using. The only pills that I have taken are the ones you gave me. And she keeps saying, I was feeling fine until you gave me those pills. And he goes, my pills didn't do that. It's these pills you were taking that did. And I thought, oh no. They are royally setting that poor child up like you would not believe. Sonny needs to really handle Gladys. And I mean, really handle Gladys when this is all said and done. I said, they are planting drugs on her. So he goes, we have to get these drugs out of your system. So he goes and he injects her through her PICC line there on her hand with some more narcotics. Because he goes, they're in your blood work. And I thought, that's because you pumping her full of it. Oh my God. And as a matter of fact, they should be diminishing out of her blood work because she's been drying out, right? She's been in that facility. And so when they showed her, the nurse says, you know what? I think we can take the restraints off of Sasha. Don't you agree, doctor? And he goes, well, yeah. He's thinking, I'm going to drug her up anyway. So she takes off the right hand and the doctor takes off the left, or the vice versa, whatever. So now Sasha is laying on her bed, shriveled up, because now she's drugged again. Excuse me, she's crying, saying, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. I felt so bad for her. Incredibly bad. Then they had a cute little scene. Diane goes by, because Cody goes to see Diane, and he tells Diane, I'm not pressing charges because I know Sasha did not mean to hurt me. I looked into her eyes and she did not know who I was. Something is happening. Something's going wrong. Somebody's doing something to her, right? And he goes, and I know it's Gladys. And so Diane goes to Robert and says, look, you need to drop the case because he's not going to press charges. So Robert will probably drop the case, but that's not going to get her out of Ferncliff, But with Cody's going to break in or have himself temporarily committed. But here's the thing. Whatever happened to Sonny saying he's got people on the inside looking out for Sasha. Could be that nice nurse, but she's not noticing enough to tell Sonny, right? And then we have with Cody getting involved. You want to know what it reminded me of, everybody? Remember when Carly was in Ferncliff? And that doctor was going to do electric shock on her brain to mess her up. I remember that. And Jason had snuck into Ferncliff, and Jason saved the day. He got Carly out of there, and boy, was that really, really good. That was I really liked that scene. That was very, very good. So it's going to be something like that with Sasha, I think, with Cody coming in and saving the day with Sasha. So anyway, then we have Anna. Anna is trying to solve what is going on. And now the name Pikeman is really stuck in her brain. So she goes to see Robert, and she's asking Robert about Pikeman. And, I can't remember if Robert said, I think Robert says he's heard of the name, but, doesn't really know of them. But then they were talking about how everything has changed in the WSB. And Anna says, Robert, that debriefing of me, it was unlike any debriefing I've ever had. It was unorthodox. There's something wrong. And Anna just started remembering that whole debriefing in the room with that agent or alleged agent, and she saw the folder behind him and it said Pikeman, right? So she's thinking, And then he kept saying, you disobeyed orders. What, you immediately went to find Valentine Cassadine? And Anna said, yeah, because the head of the WSB was not understanding the gravity, that there were lives at stake, right? So she wrote down on a piece of paper, WSB Robert, WSB Pikeman, Sonny and Pikeman, because she remembered the conversation that Sonny said he's been working with a security firm, Pikeman. And she remembered Valentine had her give Sonny a message, and it was a cryptic message. But she put Valentine WSB because the WSB was questioning her about him, right? When he's a former agent, why did they bring him in for debriefing? So anyway, she drew these lines like, what does all of this kind of have in common? And Valentine, she wrote in the center. So she's figuring out Valentine is in the middle of this somehow. So Valentine shows up at her door, and of course he has his key, so he's coming in. She turns her paper over, and he goes, what's going on? And she says, I figured out who shot at me. So we'll get to hear tomorrow whatever the theory she's going to tell him, but she's not going to completely tip her hand with Valentine. She's going to try to be a spy and figure out what's going on with Valentine. So that's going to be interesting. But that pretty much was it, everybody. That is it. Let's go to Comment Corner. Comment Corner. Oh dear says, I'm not inclined to believe that Cyrus found God. There was an old interaction with Austin. There was an odd interaction between Austin and Cyrus, where when he got admitted into GH, why was Austin Cyrus's doctor? The exchange between them got a little strange. I think Austin is in the dark with it, but Cyrus is crafty. It would not be surprising if this was an elaborate plan to get Cyrus on the outside. He seems to be a little too comfy. And then I forgot to set my little timer, everybody. Let me set that timer. Hold on for a second. Wrong one. Stopwatch. He seems to be a little too crafty. Too comfy. Giving away his money, finding God, I don't buy it. He had me fooled a little bit but it's all too convenient. NK Rose says, I'm surprised Liz and Finn acknowledged that Liz and Finn acknowledged that he dated her sister, who he was madly in love with, Hayden. Anita says, I do not like how the writers are scripting the new Christina. She is now ditzy. What a waste. Andrea says, I only watched GH because of Spirina. When they ended Spirina, I won't watch. When they end Spirina, I won't be watching GH at all. It's boring. Andrea says, GH dropped the ball with Trina and Spencer. They're a couple gold, and they are an interracial couple. Love scenes, and it's 2023. And look at the young and the restless. Victoria is with the black man, Nate, is in a relationship, and they have love scenes. Yeah. Andrea says, I think Spencer and Trina is over, and GH has no intention of putting them back together again. It was a prop. It was to prop us up for the Joss and Dex storyline. And Esme, so they can put them back together, put back Esme and Spencer together at the end of the summer. I don't like that. Or September, Spencer will fall back with Esme. You watch. Probably. I already see it happening. And I'm a huge Sabrina fan. I have to face reality and look at Days of Our Lives. They had Chanel and Johnny. They had great chemistry. And what the show did was separate them for a long time. I think next week they're going to start maybe putting them back together again. I'm not a huge Days of Our Lives fan. I've never watched Days of Our Lives. Andrea says, this is a filler episode. It was boring. General Hospital, and Liz and Finn, they're boring. No chemistry. The dinner scene was beautiful. Timothy says, I believe Violet wrote that. No, yes or no. I know that did look kid-like, right? But look, they have Finn, so I don't know. Dave, how do I spell it? Who knows? But that does look like something Violet would do. And then Miss Kitty Bell Peanut said, okay, you're anti-Nina, I see. If Willow set boundaries, like you said, then wouldn't she have told Nina? No, instead she allowed her to come in. Second, Willow wasn't upset. It was Nina. She welcomed it anyway. Now Nina's willing and could have stayed for dinner if she was intruding, but she knows her limit and left. No, she just knew Michael was home and left. That's all that was. So no, I disagree with your preconception of Nina. Now show me where Willow set boundaries. Oh, she set clear boundaries when she was in the hospital. Multiple conversations with Nina on them, right? Matter of fact, why do you think Nina was not even allowed to see her while she was in the hospital? She didn't want Nina didn't want to see her. Don't come by, don't wave. Just give me some distance and respect that. Willow has definitely set boundaries. It was Michael who set them before he agreed with Willow. No, Willow has always been the one to set the boundaries where Nina's concerned. The only time Michael set boundaries, this is way before Willow got sick. After Nina took them to court, Michael and Willow set them boundaries against Nina. Once again, someone is rewriting General Hospital history. Please stop. Oh, I know you're not talking about me, because that's, but yeah, you're right. I'm Team Carly, definitely anti-Nina, but that's okay. I respect the fact that you are pro-Nina, probably anti-Carly. We all have our favorite characters on the soaps, and we all have our different points of view. So that's what Comment Corner is all about. I'm happy you definitely wrote your comments. And please write more. See, you'll get interaction between all kind of our GH Daily Recap fans. And then Linda says, the thing I like about Alexis compared to Chrissy is Alexis is too funny. Yeah, Alexis is funny some of the time. Chrissy is raw with it. And that's why I don't care for Chrissy. Alexis is more mature with it too, not Chrissy. Ron says, I actually was bored with the conversations. Nina doesn't respect boundaries. Somebody else had said that, not just me. Finn acts like a big kid, asking for a date. These writers could have done a better job. Lucy says, Anna Devane is not herself since she lost her badge. I sure hope we get the old Anna back. For Team Valentine and Anna, I love them together. I love them together too. LaShefter says, I can't stand Nina. She's constantly crosses boundaries. Yep, that's somebody else that agrees with me. Michael sees through her. That's why she doesn't like him. Chrissy's got a lot of nerve. Her judgment is not the best. Remember Kiefer and the cult? I'm still mad she told Sonny Carly wasn't coming. I'm glad she left knowing Michael still doesn't like her, meaning Nina. But he puts up with her because of Willow. I'm with Michael too. Where's Lizzo? Ava shaking my head. I'm over Liz and Finn boring high school. I'm not feeling Laura and Kevin's adventure. It's not a big summer adventure at all because Nicholas is not there. I can see Laura starting back to think, oh, Ava, you are in trouble. Yolanda says, your description of Christina and Alexis was spot on. They're both busybodies and get on my nerves. They can be tolerated in small bursts. I think the surrogate storyline will make me stop watching GH. I'm not looking forward to that surrogate storyline at all. Cindy says, it was ridiculous that the Gordon guy went to a public restaurant with the excuse of confronting Austin about his bill. Any normal person would call the doctor's office and talk to someone in the billing department. Naturally, Sonny was suspicious. Well, for one thing, Gordon was brought into the ER where Austin stitched up that bullet, right? You wouldn't even be calling the doctor's office regarding your bill. You would be talking to the hospital because you're getting an ER bill and a physician's bill. But guess what? Those are auto charges, right? There's a physician's billing company. All ER procedures is on a standard billing scale. So, right? And then Richard says, another great recap, daily recap lady. You are right about Nina having no boundaries. Uh-oh, somebody else said it. Leanne says, Vanya scenes are always great. You know, it's funny. Or Vanna, Valentine and Anna. You guys love squishing names together. And then DL says, Valentine and Anna. Thank you, DL. Give sexy. Liz, Finn and Liz give blah. Why is he acting like he's chasing a swan instead of someone who has 3 kids by 3 different men? Why Christina still, well, will Christina still Josh's boyfriend or her sister's baby? I don't know, but something is a brewing. Something is a brewing. Cheryl says, I like Elizabeth and Dr. Finn together and Valentine and Anna together. She put a heart. Okay. See, some people like Finn and Liz. Dacia says, Sunny will grow tired of Nina sooner or later. Sunny will learn that Nina has what she had Martin Gray call the SEC on Carly and Drew Kane. Sunny will leave Nina, cancel their wedding. Nina will lose everything, including Sunny and Willow. Willow will find out what Nina did. She'll turn on Nina quickly. Nina will go back and blame everything on Carly. Will end up having the Metro Court into her hands again. She's talking about Carly. Nina might leave General Hospital. I doubt that. Again, after everybody's finding out she's been a liar to Sunny, Nina will definitely leave town, or definitely leave town. And then Lisa says, I hope she does leave. She gets on my last nerve. Nina would not know boundaries if it was laid in her lap. Somebody else talked about Nina and boundaries. Christina is being a spoiled brat. Her attitude is like pro Nina. Nina was ready to leave Michael out of the evening. And I think I can finish this even though I'm past 10 minutes. Lisa says, keeping Willow home alone is not the only way to keep her safe, but nursing has very long shifts and germs in the hospital. That's right. She needs to build her immune system up. That is true, Lisa. Give it a couple of months. I think Elizabeth and Finn are playing very childlike because Violet was setting up the two of them. It was cute. I hope Sunny becomes a little more wise to Nina's actions. When he thinks back on the things that happened or the things that she said, he will know. Portia has her nose stuck up in the air so high, she has no idea what anyone else wants, or needs. It's all about her and what she wants. She does want Spencer. She doesn't want Spencer around, so how would she feel about Trina leaning on Dex for comfort? Jocelyn and Dex should let Portia think Dex and Trina are becoming a couple. She might be looking for Spencer to come around then, LOL. And then Ron says, Sonny wants Carly back. He wouldn't have given her all that money. We don't know how much money it was, but we have a pretty good idea, right? Just for the fun of it. And good things she knew Sonny would be there for her. And then I Am says, no one just drives by the Quartermain estate. I Am also says, I agree, Christina's just like Alexis and Nina, very inappropriate. Woo! Thank you so much for Comment Corner. I will be back tomorrow with another daily recap of General Hospital.